and welcome to the news of 629. I am Delrith, and I am here alone today as Godfoot is at a wedding related to family. So I will be doing your news solo. I'll do my best to make up for the lack of Godfoot, but let's just jump right into it with our first story. That first thing we're going to talk about is that Warhammer 3 is going to be, well, Total War Warhammer 3 is going to be adding the Immortals Empire map soon. And there's going to be a lot of new starting positions. I reviewed Total War Warhammer 3. Review will be down in description. I loved it. I just wanted to let you know that this is coming out soon. Everyone knows that the Immortal Empires map was the big draw of Total War Warhammer 2. Everybody's going to be on one map. All the factions from all the previous games. You're going to be able to play with, I think, up to 8 people in multiplayer. It's gonna be insane. I am super excited for the Immortal Empires map. I think it's around 278 factions or so, but it's gonna be 100 more starting factions than the previous one, and it has been a tremendous wait time for it, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Again, Total War Warhammer 3, fantastic. Not as good as 2 right now because 2's had a lot more content support, but I think that Total War Warhammer 3 will get better a lot with the Immortal Empire. So yeah, that's coming. I'm excited for it, and I will probably do a video on it when it comes out. Next, we want to talk about FromSoftware's next title. There has been rumor that there were 3 games that FromSoftware was working on back in 2018. One was Sekiro, the other was Elden Ring, and the third one I'm hoping is going to be an Armored Core game. Armored Core, for a lot of people that don't know, was a mech-based battle game that FromSoftware was in charge of, and it was one of my favorite series to date that I ever played when I was growing up as a kid. So this game is nearing the end of development, and after the success of Elden Ring and how good Sekiro was, both of which games I reviewed as well, I am incredibly excited for it. And again, like I said, I hope it's Armored Core. There's been a few leaks that are saying it's going to be another Armored Core game, which would be awesome. But yeah, FromSoftware churning games out, pumping quality, really just showing that you can do really good games without compromising your integrity. And that leads me into talking about another video I'm going to be doing soon, which you can look forward to on the channel, basically talking about why games don't feel as fulfilling as they used to and why they just don't feel as fun. I will be going over a lot of things during that, but FromSoftware is the exception to that, to where everything they put out tends to be a lot of fun and captures that enjoyment that you used to get as a kid when you would just come home from like high school or middle school or whatever, sit down and play games with your friends. And I think that they're on the right track. I'm really hoping that this follows suit in Elden Ring steps. I think something like an open world Armored Core would be incredible. And of course, our editor will throw up some Armored Core footage from the old games behind this while I'm talking. But yeah, hey, more sci-fi mech destruction explosions would be sick. I don't think they're going to put a bad game out. It's FromSoftware. Like, what more do you need? Now I want to take a moment to put an F in chat for Heroes of Newerth, as it is finally dead, and it has died, and it is gone. Heroes of Newerth, for people that don't know, was a MOBA game taking after Defense of the Ancients before Dota was re-released with Dota 2 by Valve, and right after League of Legends had come out and been popular, S2 Games released a version of it called Heroes of Newerth, which had their own spin on their heroes and their own abilities and their lore and their universe. I played a lot of it around like 2011 and 2010. It was awesome, but it did have a lot of problems. It did have a lot of really weird systems. The heroes were definitely a lot more overpowered in a lot of cases, and it did not really tack on players, because when Dota 2 came out, everyone that was playing HoN was just playing it because there wasn't an up-to-date Dota. And so when Dota 2 came out, it basically ripped 80% of its player base out from under it. It was very popular in South America and Asia, but it wasn't really popular in the US market, which in the end drove S2 Games down. I think there was another title from SQ Games or S2 Games called Strife, which was another MOBA. I remember going to a studio for it. I don't remember if it was S2, but it was another MOBA like that just didn't gather the US or English speaking audience, and it just wasn't supported and fell apart. I think Strife might still be available. I'll look into that, and Maxi will pop up chat on the screen or text on the screen and tell me if it is. But yeah, hey, HoN, for those of you that don't know, was a fun game, but it's gone now, and maybe it'll get picked up by a free-to-play company or something in the future. Who knows, for a mobile market. But yeah, goodbye to Heroes of Newerth. Now, in extremely shocking news that I don't think anyone knew was coming, World of Warcraft Dragonflight is supposed to release in November or December of this year. And I don't think it's going to be ready. With the problems Shadowlands had and the problems at Activision Blizzard, I am absolutely floored that this expansion is coming out. I hope it's going to be good. We talked about it being announced a couple, like 3 or 4 weeks ago on the news, and it's going to be available on or before December 31st, 2022. There's not much to say about this. I think World of Warcraft after Shadowlands and BFA is in a very, very poor state, not only with reputation with the community, but as a game itself. And I'm hoping that with them going back to talents and making major drastic changes and not including a new system like Azerite gear or covenants or whatever, that the game will just be fun for people. Because I think at the end of the day, people don't want to play a chore simulator. They just want to hop on and play World of Warcraft and enjoy it and have fun with their friends, get some gear, maybe progress their character's power a little bit, then log off and go do other things. And the last 2 expansions have just been chore simulators. So they really need to pull away from it. They're adding cool stuff like Dragonflight, turning into dragons. The old talent system is getting revamped. We'll have to see how it ends and how it goes. Because if they get another bad expansion, I think it's going to basically just put World of Warcraft in the grave. And I don't want that. I don't think anyone wants that. I think we all just want them to go back to what made the game good and stop caring so much about metrics and time sinks and not valuing our time as players, because that's the problem. Is it just feels like it doesn't value our time right now, and it needs to. In more good gaming news, Hyenas, which is a new FPS in development, is a sci-fi title from the Alien Isolation devs. For those of you who do not know, Alien Isolation was probably one of the best horror games in 2014 that they've had in a long time, honestly, if I'm being real with you. But it was great, crawling through vents, getting killed by aliens, some of the best sci-fi, probably one of the best aliens game ever made, and I'm excited for it. Hyenas is going to be an in-space first-person shooter. There's an announcement trailer, which of course will be playing in the background of this, but cool idea with the world being broken, billionaires having made it to Mars, everybody fighting and murdering each other over it. A drifting slum called the Taint, which is supposed to be like a giant mega city or something from what I've read. It'll be fun. We'll have to see if it's ruined by microtransactions or if they just make a really fun game that'll let you shoot and kill one another in various different ways. I think zero-G fighting always sounds cool, and hey, we'll just have to see. Now, more MMO news. There is another RuneScape universe game coming out that is supposed to be an open world survival game. And you know me, I love open world survival games. I love the crap out of Ark, which I'm really excited for Ark 2. I loved playing Rust. I love playing Valheim and V Rising and all those other games. Survival games are my jam. They always have been, even back when I was on the Angry Joe show. So, hey, survival game in the RuneScape universe sounds awesome. Hopefully RuneScape gets back in popularity with a lot of people and new audiences are brought into it, because I liked RuneScape. I still play OSRS every now and then. I don't find a lot of time these days to play OSRS, but it's fun. I love RuneScape. I love the RuneScape universe. It was one of the first experiences I ever had playing an MMO, back during Lineage as well when I was a younger kid, and Star Wars Galaxies. But RuneScape was right there with them, and I look forward to playing this new survival game when it comes out, and I hope that it's at least decent, right? Because I think that's the bar these days with how many crap like series and universe games keep coming out. We keep getting all these really crappy survival games and these crappy MOBAs and these crappy card builders and all this stuff, and I think we're at the point where we just want good, like, average games. It doesn't have to be amazing, doesn't have to be game of the year, but it would be nice if it was good, because that opens the door to getting better games in the future. Yeah, look forward to it. More RuneScape. And finally, for news this week, the short news week this week, by the way, Diablo Immortal may not release in China, and it's looking like it's not because of a few social posts that were made on China's main social platform, which may or may not have been directed at the leader of China, and they were basically made an example. Don't mess with China. All their stuff was pulled. They weren't allowed to release the game. Their media accounts got banned. It's even more delayed now. And yeah, it was their Weibo account making a post mocking Xi Jinping. I don't even know how to say his name. But yeah, it's basically a messed up situation. One person essentially punished the entire company. I mean, you already know everyone's thoughts, at least the PC crowd's thoughts on Diablo Immortal and how predatory the monetization is. For its credit, it is a fun game until you hit that paywall. But yeah, it looks like it's been blocked in China. And for anyone that doesn't know, China is huge in the mobile market, but it is interesting to see exactly why it was banned. But it is, of course, going to cost Blizzard tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, if Diablo Immortal does not get a Chinese release. I'm not sure that the Chinese government will back down on it, because you get where you are by being feared and hated. Because it's easier to love something that you fear than to hate something that you love. So dictators tend to be like jerks for a reason. They don't bend on their decisions, and they use this sort of stuff as examples to every other company and every other person as to why you don't cross over the line. Because yeah, it's not fair what they did, and it's not fair that the whole company got punished for the actions of one person, but you don't get where you are by being nice. So we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, I will update the situation if anything else happens. But as of right now, it looks that Diablo Immortal is perpetually disallowed from being released in China. But who knows how long that'll last. Now, one final thing I do want to talk about before I wrap up the news is that I am on Overwatch 2's creator program list, thanks to the videos that we made, and a lot of you actually commenting on them, and a few of them getting posted on the Overwatch Reddit. I wanted to say from our hearts, from Godfoot and myself and Maxi, thank you so much for actually posting that and sharing those videos. They were a lot of fun. And although I'm concerned about Overwatch 2, I'm happy to play it because it is enjoyable with friends. I hope that it gets to where it needs to be, and I hope that the community gets the support that it deserves. But I will be doing this over on twitch.tv/Delrith. And if you gift 3 subs, which is part of the creator program for the 100 creators or whatever that are on this program, you get an exclusive legendary StarCraft 2 medic skin inside Overwatch for the new healer, or one of the old healers. I don't know, one of them, but it should be a lot of fun. And we'll be doing that over the next week or two on and off, just because that is something I want to do. Now, as far as what we're going to be next, or doing next in reviews, I am currently working on the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak review. And then I will be reviewing the Overwatch, or not Overwatch, sorry, the Outriders expansion DLC, the World Breakers or whatever it is, and getting that out. So videos may slow down for about a week, especially since I only got my Monster Hunter Rise code a day before launch, but I'll do my best to get it out to you as fast as possible, and I appreciate you all watching. As I always say, like the video if you like the video. Please let me know what you think of these subjects down below in the comments. I love reading the comments and seeing the discussion. And share the video if you enjoyed it. Still need help building the channel. It's a slow and arduous process, as it always is, but I do love all of you that have been supporting it and sticking around and watching every video. And yeah, until next video, this is Delrith, and I'll be seeing you. Bye.